Good evening, everybody. How are you today? And welcome to the latest edition of Drew Mania Live. So nice to have you with us for this Thursday, the 17th day of December, the year 2020. And of course, this is yours truly, Angel Perry. Thank you very much. As always, coming alive and at you from the busy streets of New York City, snowy Brooklyn, New York, and part of the Northeast for that matter. As I chat to you, what is happening in the world of sports? Well, we are an hour away from for the Thursday night football game to kick off Week 15 of the NFL season, and it's hard to believe we are 2 weeks away from the ending of the regular season. 2 weeks away, a week away. Can you believe? 2 weeks away. Can you believe it? Anyway, but before we preview the Raiders and the Chargers tonight, let's recap week 14. And let's be honest, outside of the Ravens Browns game was probably the best game of that day, or probably the year for that matter. What we saw Monday was by far the best game of the year. Nobody's not going to disagree with that. We could all agree with that. Now, Lamar Jackson, I don't know what happened. I think Lamar Jackson went to use the number 2. Probably. I mean, who knows, I wish Lisa Salters would ask him that, but, they're not going to ask Lamar Jackson that. But anywho, let me point things out as far as the Ravens-Browns game this past Monday. It was the first time since 1977. The first time since 1977 that two Heisman Trophy winners face each other. Two Heisman Trophy winners face each other in the National Football League, especially on Monday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers against the Dallas Cowboys. I might got the year wrong, but I know it's either 1970. I have to look it up later. And I know Roger Staubach won the game. And Roger Staubach, I know, won the game. I do remember that. But anyway, it was a great game. It was a back and forth game. Defense was not effective for either team. Lamar Jackson had a Lamar Jackson game. He rushed for he got a couple of he rushed for a touchdown. He threw for a touchdown. He rushed for a touchdown. Baker Mayfield wasn't bad either. Baker Mayfield wasn't bad either. He kept which I thought. And the more you watch the game, I thought, the Ravens is going to win the game. No, the Browns going to win the game. The Ravens going to win. The Browns are going to win. It was back and forth. It was back and forth. But I think this game is much better than last year's between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams. As we remember, up and down. It was a shootout. This however, this shootout, I don't mind. I don't mind. It was a really good game. And can we say Tucker is the best? Justin Tucker is the best kicker in the game. He is the best kicker in the game. I don't think there's no other kicker in the National Football League who's more clutch, who is money. Whether it's indoors or outdoors, he is the best kicker in the NFL right now. And let me add this too. This is the first time the Browns and the Ravens face each other. This is the first time ever in this series that they have faced each other, and they both are 500 late in the season. So it's a lot of historic. A lot of historic proportions. Other than that, this has been a battle. This week 14 was terrible. The games was awful. The 1 o'clock games with the Cardinals Giants was a board fest. I was waiting for the Giants. It was 13 to nothing. It was 13-0 Arizona. The Giants had a chance, had multiple chances, didn't capitalize. What else? The Jets are the Jets. They lost. They got blown out by the Seattle Seahawks. But are we shocked? Absolutely not. What else? What else? The Cowboys won. The Cowboys beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Whoop-de-doo. They still gonna miss the playoffs. And I didn't watch the Saints Eagles. I am sick and tired of watching the Eagles. Even though Jalen Hurts, they played much better because Jalen Hurts was the quarterback and played much better. Play much better and take down the best team in the NFC in my mind, and the best defense, which is the New Orleans Saints. But other than that, a lot of games has been awful. The 49ers are going to miss the playoffs. The Washington football team are separate themselves from the Giants. So for the most part, the games, there's really no exciting games. The Raiders got steamrolled by the Indianapolis Colts. Buffalo beat Pittsburgh, give Pittsburgh their second loss. So the Pittsburgh look more. They're not gonna get that home field advantage throughout the playoffs in this year's NFL playoff. As I mentioned before, we are 2 weeks away. Now as far as week 15 in the National Football League, the Saturday. Let's start with the Thursday night game. Should be a NFC West showdown between the Chargers and the Raiders. The Raiders look to shake off. They look to get back to their winning way, get back to winning after getting, as I mentioned earlier, getting beat by the Indianapolis Colts. The Chargers, on the other hand, looking to play for pride most likely and try to save Anthony Lynn's job for the most part. But I expect with the Raiders and Chargers, most likely it could be an offensive firepower, or it's gonna be a battle because I expect the Raiders to win because they're gonna keep their playoff hopes alive, and they're gonna keep their playoff hopes alive and stuff like that. As far as the Saturday games, the Saturday games, I wouldn't worry. The Panthers and the Broncos game, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Really, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be good games. Most likely, it's a game you're not gonna miss. It's really not gonna miss. The game to watch out of the whole game, honestly, is the Chiefs Saints. This might be a Super Bowl preview. Could be a Super Bowl preview because offense versus defense. So we want to see how things pan out. Really see defense pan out and stuff like that. The Sunday night game, the Giants and the Browns, both teams lost. So they're looking to get back to their winning ways. The Giants need this win. The Giants need to win more than the Browns. The Browns are going to make the playoffs, of course, despite the fact that even if they go on a massive losing streak, the Browns are going to make the playoffs. The Giants, if they're going to win that division and keep up with the Washington football team, they can't afford to lose any more games. So they gotta play a much better football as they did the last few games before the Seattle game. Let's switch it to college football for a second. Let's switch it to college football for a minute, and then I'm gonna go back to the NFL for a minute. As far as college football, championship games are going on between Iowa State. Iowa State looking to win their first ever Big 12 title since 1912. That's right, 1912. 1912 was the last time Iowa State Cyclones have won the Big 12, and they will go on against the Sooners of Oklahoma State, which should be fascinating. Should be really, really fascinating. I mean, I don't really watch too much of Iowa State, so I'm not gonna tell you that this should be a fascinating. It should be a big game for Iowa State. The game of the week, the college football game, Oregon tomorrow. Oregon versus USC. I'm looking forward to that. USC. This is not the Oregon Ducks, but because Washington was replaced, which I completely understand, because we all know Washington is having COVID problems, and plus, not only that, they don't have enough. According to sources, they had enough offensive. They didn't have no offensive line on their team, so. That's what I heard too. I mean, this is not for me. I heard that they have no. This should be a cakewalk. Honestly, this is I don't think you're gonna miss nothing. I think USC will win the Pac-12 title in this historic school. Now the big game of the week. The big championship game happens in the ACC. Between Notre Dame and Clemson. The last time they faced each other, it was a great game. It was a great game to watch. Notre Dame won their game, but also without Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to be back, and now it should be y'all going to face the real Clemson, right? Now let's see if Notre Dame really up to the task for stopping Trevor Lawrence or so. Should be a fascinating game here. Should be a really fascinating game. I'm really looking forward to it. Alabama, Florida. I expect to be a blowout. I can't believe to lose the game the way they to Florida, especially to lose the game the way they did is. I can't take y'all seriously. Because by what I saw, Michael and Florida, I don't know how you lose this game to LSU and expect me to take you seriously in the whatever game and so forth. Alabama ain't gonna lose to Florida. You know that. So either way, there's really nothing much going on as far as that draws your eye outside of Notre Dame, Clemson. That's basically it. As far as college footballs go. And real quickly on the NFL. On the NFL, as far as the NFL is concerned, that Washington. I had it in my mind. I don't know why I forgot. Forgive me, folks. I thought I had something. I thought I was going to say something about the NFL, but never mind. But with that is it. That's gonna do it for this edition of Drew Mania Live. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe on my YouTube channel that's Andrew L. Perry. Once again, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe on Andrew L. Perry. And of course, if you want to listen to this episode again, please go to Spreaker.com, type the keyword Andrew L. Perry. Once again, go to Spreaker.com, type the keyword Andrew L. Perry. And always follow my show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Until next time, this is Andrew Perry, always saying to you, Shalom, let peace go with you. And I'll talk to you in the next Drew Mania Live. So long, everybody. Be careful out there and wear your mask.